Alright, hello everyone. My standardized test or assessment was the California High School Exit Exam, or the cashee test as it is commonly referred to. The primary purpose is to improve student achievement in public high schools. It's a public high school test and ensure that students who graduate from public high schools can demonstrate grade level competency in reading, writing, and mathematics. So it's a standardized test that you have to pass to get a diploma in the state of California from one of their public high schools. Now, the cashee helps identify students who are not developing the skills that are essential for life, and if they do not have these skills, the state gives resources needed to improve these skills so the student can pass the test. Skills that are essential for life. These are very essential skills, don't get confused. Basic math, English, writing skills, they are essential for life. But this test isn't, like a fix-all and like, oh, if you pass this test, you got it all, you got it made. So, let's take it in context. It's a standardized test, It's not a silver bullet cure for, cancer or anything. Alright, so who takes the test? All public school students take the test except those eligible, which I'll get into later. Everybody has to take it. If you go to public school in the state of California, you need to pass this test, or, if you have disabilities, there's accommodations, etc. I'll go into later. So, first time you take it is in grade 10, so that's when you should have all the knowledge necessary, at least the state thinks you have all the knowledge necessary to pass the test, or have at least a really good chance at passing the test. You have 8 total chances for the end of school, for the end of 12th grade. And then after that, you have, depending on what your education is, or what your continuing education is after school, after 12th grade, you have 3 to 5 chances to pass per year, and there's no time limit. Essentially you could kind of take this test, and if you don't pass it, take it till you're 50. And, I don't think anybody's done that, or will do that. But, well, the test isn't that old, but yeah, let's just say, you can take it as long as you need to pass it. Alright, if you don't pass it, first time you take it, what happens? State gives money to districts to distribute in any of the following ways. It's pretty flexible, so that's a good thing, One district may need more teachers, another may need, design and instruction to meet the needs of, English language learners, etc. So there's definitely different ways you can use the funding. These are all the ways that it can be used. Now, the content, like I said, by grade 10 you should have all the content necessary. The test and the content on the exam are aligned to the English language arts content through grade 10. That's for English, and then math. Grades 6 and 7, all the content in those grades are basically on the test. That's what they're testing, as well as Algebra 1. So that's the content on the test. And digging a little deeper, we see this is from the California Department of Education's website. It shows all the different types of questions: English, math. There's a writing. You have to actually do some writing, so it's not just all multiple choice, but it's it's a lot of multiple choice testing. Questions are like any standardized test. It's not a very exotic thing, as you can see. This is algebra, so these are the more advanced questions on the test, probably the most advanced. They don't go to anything more complicated or the content beyond this. So if you can do this, you probably have the math content knowledge to pass everything on there and what have you. And then this is just a little sample. Like I said, there's actual writing section, but this is just a sample of the multiple choice section, one of them. You can see here. Now, I talked about alternate paths, whether if you're not taking the the standard version of it as it's issued, there's different paths you can take. The California High School Proficiency Exam, if you pass this, what the state says is you essentially have knowledge enough to pass the cashee. These tests are very similar, so if you pass this, you can essentially pass the cashee. So yeah, you get your you can go on your way. And then this is if you leave early from school. GED, we all know what that is, the national system. That test is folded in, so if you fulfill those requirements, you basically fulfill the requirements of the cashee, and you know they're very similar. But like I said, these are very similar. The proficiency exam and the cashee exam are very similar, so you can't really like game the system and pass one because it's easier. So that's a good thing. Students with disabilities and ELLs, they receive accommodations and modifications and variations, but the test itself, the instructions can be given in any language, Spanish, what have you, but the test itself cannot be given in any native language. It's only English, which that's pretty unfair if you ask me, and there are court cases in the works now that are, you know, challenging that notion that it should only be in English. So hopefully, as we go forward with the cashee test, that'll come to fruition, and it can be given in any number of languages, because what we're really trying to do here is test them on content knowledge. We're not testing them on their knowledge of, well, we are testing them on the knowledge of the English language, but it's English language arts, not whether they can speak English to us or you know, etc. So, you know, it's a complication. All right, affected educators. How does it affect them? Well, in the ways you would expect, sort of interrupts regular instruction with the actual giving of the test. This is a statistic from where I do my field work at Ontario High School in their district, the Chaffey Joint Union High School District. 14 out of the 180 days are reserved for cashee testing, and that's for 10th graders. You know, every 10th grader who takes it when you take it the first time, everybody takes it, but, you know, and then on. So it does interrupt instruction, and preparation for it can interrupt instruction. But hopefully the content on the cashee is sort of baked into your whole equation of what you're learning in school, and they don't really have to create any rift there. Hopefully it's a seamless sort of, you know, implementing of content, and students absorb that content and don't need to be, you know, put through a lot of practice cashee testing. All right, this statistic is from the Center on Education Policy Research, and it is on the passing rates, the first time people take it. What are their passing rates? And this is all broken down, as you can see. It's kind of funny that they're a Center on Education Policy, and they didn't spell that right. That's kind of funny. But yeah, the statistics they're real, even if the grammar's not. And yeah, you can see the passing rates. This is the first time in 10th grade when they initially take it for the very first time. What do the passing rates look like? And those are the rates. And then this is by the time they've taken it for the last time, so the end of 12th grade, what are the passing rates like? And they're improved, which is good. But you know, there's obviously places where there could be more improved. And yeah, so reforms. What kind of reforms are we talking about here? So this is a lot of words, so I won't read it all, but the gist of it is, you know, early warning and investing in kids before they get to the test, you know, in 10th grade. And it's not, you know, rocket science. It's looking at kids who are at risk of not learning the content, and taking a deeper look into that and examining it, and hopefully remedying the cause, and, you know, catalyzing the student's academic career so they can go on and do great things. Yeah, the reforms call for an improvement and an investment in, you know, early childhood education to prepare kids and you know, look at kids who are at risk of not passing it, and you know, that's you can do that. That's possible. Also, you know, distributing funds, increased flexibility. I mean, it's pretty flexible as we looked at before, but you know, maybe increase the flexibility a little bit would be good. More research, you know, more development of the test itself, you know, to develop skills necessary. And yeah, just basically it just says looking at younger kids who are at risk and assessing why they would be at risk. And that's really kind of why we're here, isn't it? Just to help kids out and look at kids who are having a tough time, and hopefully improve their prospects. So yeah, the cashee is just the exit exam. Just, you know, every public high school student has to take it, and yeah, it's a standardized test. It's not exotic, but it's necessary, and it's a good thing.